Okay, today I'm going to explain you how could you answer or complete exercises from your book. First of all, please open your book on page 29 and page 30, and in these pages we're going to start with the unit number 14. It's called I Like to Study. So first it says objectives. Use non-active verbs, non-action verbs describe these situations instead of actions. So, according with your calendar, we're going to solve the first exercise. It says exercise 14.1. Read the dialogue and answer the question we have. The question says, do you like vegetables? In your case, you have to write maybe if yes, yes I do, or if you don't like vegetables, no, I don't. Yes, I do, or no, I don't. Okay, now on exercise 14.2, read again and underline non-action verbs. We have a conversation between a chef and Jasmine, and the idea is we have to read it. So I'm going to start. It says, yes, your steak tastes delicious and your chicken looks good too. Thank you, chef. I'm putting some parsley on it. It tastes better with it. But be careful with the garlic. Some people don't like it. It's funny because I don't like either. Which vegetable do you prefer to cook with? Well, I cooked a lot with carrots, but I don't use many potatoes. But potatoes are very useful in the kitchen. You need to use potatoes. Yes, I know. This other dish has potatoes and garlic. Is it a Spanish dish? I don't know. Probably. My grandmother has the recipe. Please, chef, taste it. Wow, it is delicious and it smells great. I want to taste my dessert. It smells fine, but it doesn't taste like vanilla. I don't want to use artificial flavor. You're right. We don't need natural ingredients in our dishes. Okay. After we read it, we have to continue on exercise 14.3. Read again and mark is it true or false. You have to read the sentences, statements, and mark with a tick. Is it true or false? The first one, it says the steak tastes delicious. Some people don't like garlic. Jasmine doesn't like carrots. The dish has carrots. The chef doesn't taste delicious. And Jasmine uses artificial flavor. Okay. Now, on exercise 14.4, it says exercise 14.4. Choose the correct answer. You have 8 exercises, 8 sentences, and you have to choose what would be the right sentence. Is it 1, I don't like, I doesn't like, or I hate spinach? Now we have the subject I is first person, so we have to write the negative auxiliary for first person. What is the auxiliary for negative? In first person, don't. Are you with a first person? Don't or do not. And he, she, third person, does not or doesn't. So, according with the table, I don't like is the correct answer. I don't like spinach. Number 2, I doesn't know. I knows. I don't know. What is the correct? I don't know. I don't know good recipes. And the last one, 3. She don't have, she doesn't have, she doesn't has. In this case, what is the correct? Doesn't. But we have 2 doesn't have, or doesn't has. The rule says that you have to use the auxiliary doesn't plus the verb in infinitive. Okay, so you have to choose B. She doesn't have a headache. Okay, now please, you have to complete the rest 5 from this exercise. Now, on page number 30, you have Exercise 14.6. Replace the word in bold with the object pronoun. Now, what is the object pronoun? These are the object pronouns. Sorry. These are the object pronouns. Object pronoun is the subject that receives the action, and the subject pronoun is the person that does the action. So we have, for example, I, it's me. He, it's him. She, her. It, we, us. You, and they, them. So if your sentence has a verb, that means that you do the action, you have to use these subject pronouns. But if your subject receives an action, it's this: me, him, her, it, us, you, and them. Okay, so now we have some examples. On exercise 14.6, it says replace the word in bold with an object pronoun. Follow the example. Example 1. Anna likes cakes. Cakes, it's plural. Now, what it's plural for? What is plural for objects? They. Okay, but that receives the actions, so you have to write them. In the first sentence, you have and likes them. Okay, so you have different words in bold, and the idea is we have to replace them with the correct object pronoun. For example, the first one, it says we don't use the computer. The computer, what is the object pronoun? We don't use it in the morning. We don't use it in the morning. Number 2, Leo buys Susan lunch every day. In this case, Susan, it's she, but it's the object pronoun. You have to write Leo buys her lunch every day. Okay. Number 3, this car doesn't belong to Peter. This car doesn't belong to him. Number 4, Laura lives near to Tom and Sue. You have to write Tom and Sue are they. Laura lives near to them. Laura lives near to them. Okay. 5, Jenna doesn't know Dan and me. Jenna doesn't know we. Jenna doesn't know us. U-S. And finally, you visit your grandmother every weekend. You visit her every weekend. Okay, you have to replace the correct object pronoun. And finally, on the color book part, exercise 14.7. Complete the sentences by writing the verbs in its correct form. So you have 8 sentences, and the idea is you have to write, is it affirmative or negative? For example, we have Debbie like, but Debbie is third person. Debbie likes reading fiction novels. Number 2, Jim agree, but it's negative. Jim doesn't agree with the new project. Number 3, they disagree. They is first person, so we don't change. They disagree with the congressman. And number 4, I like, but negative, so you have to write I don't like reading magazines. Okay, so please, I help you with the first 4. You have to complete the rest 4. Now, on your workbook, on exercise 14.4, we have 14.4. It says, page 81. Exercises. Write the sentences using the clues. Follow the example. You have example: I study French, study English. What are you gonna do? You have to write two sentences in the same exercise. You have to write one in negative and the second in positive. You have to write, for example, I don't study French, comma, I study English. So we have, she doesn't play golf, she plays tennis. She doesn't play golf, she plays tennis. Number 2, this car runs fast, it runs slow. This car doesn't run fast, it runs slow. This car doesn't run fast, it runs slow. And finally, number 3, he needs money, need credit card. He doesn't need money, he needs credit card. Okay, so please you have to check the rest sentences. They are 7. You have to complete 4, 5, 6 and 7 by your own. And the last exercise on page 82, you have exercise 14.6, underline the correct word. You have 12 sentences. I'm going to help you with the first 5 and you have to complete the rest. Now you have to choose, is it subject or object pronoun? Subject, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, or object pronoun, me, you, he, her, us, them. Okay, now pay attention. How could you identify what is the correct option? If your sentence has a verb after the options, you have to write the subject pronoun. For example, I like swimming. Okay, me like swimming doesn't exist. In number 2, my mom kisses. Who? Kisses I or kisses me? In this case, I receive the action. My mom kisses me every morning. My mom kisses me every morning. Number 3, we listen to them because they receive the action. We listen to them. They or them talked at work. Talk is a verb. So what is the correct for verbs? They talked at work. And finally, we begin the project soon or us begin the project soon. You have to choose we because we have begin the project soon. Okay, so please you have to complete the rest 7, and when you finish, please take the photos and then send them. Okay, now I'm going to explain you the calendar. Don't forget that we're going on the 2nd week. So in this week, on Monday, we're going to check Unit 4, 14th and Unit 15th. In those units, we're going to check this: your students, the color book, and your workbook, black and white section. You have to solve the exercises on each one, write explanation from the video, then answer the exercises, make a recording, an audio in the first unit, and the second unit you have to make a video. Okay, check the dates, please check the dates. There are the deadlines, and that's all. Thank you so much.